Hello everyone, I'm Farmer Sim. Welcome back to Zielonka, the Let's Play series. This is episode 10. I hope you're all doing very well and having a lovely day. So, it's amazing what getting into mountains of debt can do for your motivation levels, isn't it? After the last episode, getting into just over £500,000 quid's worth of debt, it's just given me the motivation to come and do a bit more on here, it really has. So what have I got in mind? Well, we've got this empty field that we purchased as a result of part of that debt. So what I'm thinking of doing, if I pop into the crop calendar very quickly, we can currently plant a handful of crops, but one of them in particular is oats. So if I can get this oat into the ground, into this field now, I should be able to get it out of the ground come the back end of July, which should correspond nicely with the harvesting of the canola that is in the field next to it, because I do have the plan of joining this field into this field to make one big field that literally wraps around the farm, kind of. So that's the idea. Part of me was thinking, should I just wait for this to be harvested and then I can join it up to this empty field and go from there? But to maximise profits as best as possible, hopefully, anyway, that's the idea, I should be able to, as I say, get them drilled ASAP with a bit of oat, and we'll be able to pull that out the field at the same time as the canola, and then obviously both of them will be empty again. We will profit from the oat at some point, and I'll be able to stitch these together and make one big field. So that's one slight plan that I have. And also there is one fertilising contract currently on the map down here in field 86. So I am considering using my own equipment with my own little bit of fertiliser, because I should be able to, I think I should be able to do this without costing any extra money. So if I pop into the field calculator menu there, field 86 says liquid fertilizer wise it will take 419.24 litres of liquid fertilizer. Now I'm pretty sure I've said this before in other series, that I think these numbers are based on base game and not precision farming, but fingers crossed, touch wood, I hope I'm not going to regret saying this, but I currently have over here in a tote 591 litres of liquid fertiliser. So I'm hoping that I should be able to stick that into the old sprayer here and get that contract completed, so get a couple more grand in the bank. So that should be good. I'm hoping I can do that. Obviously, we all know how when you do a contract, I don't think I necessarily need to get 100% of the field done anyway in order to complete the contract, but I'm still going to do my best to do that. So yeah, so we're going to be cracking on with that contract at some point. I'm going to get some, as I said, just going to get some oat drilled into that ground very quickly if possible with our new seeder. Looking forward to getting that up and running. Now this does have, I think, about 300 litres of seed. Yeah, 361 litres of seed currently in there. That's what I emptied out of the old seeder before selling it in the last episode. So we will trundle it round to the seed tank and top it up a little bit. Now, of course, this field is going to need a bit of prep. It's going to need lime spreading. It's going to need some fertiliser spreading, but I can afford to do that once the seed has been drilled. I'm just going to get it into the ground and work on topping up the levels afterwards. So that's the first couple of bits of plan that I've got for this episode. So I think I'm going to we're going to use the fert to run the seeder. So we'll get everything set up, and I'll run it round to the seed tank, and I'll see you in a moment. Right, frustratingly, not that it's too bad, but something that slipped my mind was obviously the direction that I've got the auto drive course set up in here allowed for the previous seeder to come in this direction, pull up to the seed tank here and just fill up, but this has got the auger on the other side, so I've had to pull in the other way. Fortunately, it does recognise the fill trigger, so it's currently filling away. So I think that's filled now. Looking at the money's not ticking down, so that will cost us a few quid. So right, let's get folded up and get over to the field. Right, here we go. Got it in the field. It's a good looking bit of kit, this, I've got to say. 4.8 metres width, so it's a little bit wider than the one we had before. It does take fertiliser as well, but I've got that turned off. We're just running the seed at the minute. So for now, I'll pop this into a bit of a cinematic. I don't think it's going to take too long. Obviously, the field isn't that big. It runs at 8 miles an hour. With it being wider and running at 8 miles an hour, I can't imagine it's going to take too long, but I'll do my best to put it into a bit of a cinematic anyway. So, see you soon. There we go, job done. This is a cracking seeder, I've got to say. Really am quite chuffed that I've bought this thing. Absolutely love it. 4.8 metres width, drilling width. Runs well, dead smooth. Really good thing. It's a big cumbersome thing, I can appreciate that. Instead of it being just one of those nice compact ones that you lift up on the back of a tractor. Obviously it does have a bit of a larger footprint, but it's a great piece of kit. And quite proud of the fact that it's right for the area, so to speak. So, anyway, job done. Oats are in the ground. A very quick field of oats, as it were. So, I think what I'm going to do very quickly off camera is just run the roller in here and get that bit of the job sorted. So I'll join you back ASAP when that's done, and I think from there we will be cracking on with that fertilising contract. There we go, all rolled. Job done. Now, I know I could have, going back to the drilling of the oats a few moments ago, I could have put fertiliser into the seeder there, but I didn't want to because I haven't actually scanned the field for precision farming data yet. So to make sure I was doing things absolutely properly and not wasting a single litre of fertiliser, as it were, I thought it'd be best to wait until I have scan the field for its precision farming data, and then I will apply fertiliser once that's done, and the lime, of course. So, anyway, but until I do that, because I think I haven't decided whether I'm going to buy... I don't think I really need to buy a field scanner. I think I should just lease one and get that done, because we'll have to scan this land. Although I suppose it would be wise, wouldn't it, thinking about it on the fly. The fields that we've got are going to need rescanning. It is a constant job that you have to do every now and again because the data does expire. So, and considering that we're going to be creating at some point, once the harvest of the field in the distance there is done, I think that's wheat. Once that's done, as some of you may remember from the previous episode, I'm going to be extending that left-hand strip field up there behind those trees into that big area of land there. So I'm going to need to scan all that freshly ploughed land as well, so it might actually be beneficial of me to buy my own scanner and just stick it in the corner for when we need it, but that's not happening now. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to pop this away. I suppose I do need to think about getting myself a jet washer as well. But yeah, I'm going to pop this away. We are going to hook up to the liquid fertilizer sprayer thing here. We will unload the little bit of herbicide that we've got in there, and we'll load up this 591 litres of liquid fert and see if that will enable us to get that contract completed. So the contract is paying, scrolling down very quickly, just over 2,200. So that'll be a welcome addition to the bank account. We have just ticked over 2 o'clock, and thanks to the BGA, we earned, I don't know exactly what we earned, but it was north of 1,000 anyway. Checking up on those actually very quickly, the BGA is the only thing that we've got in the BGA now is the manure. The slurry has expired, or it's been used up. The silage has been used up, or all but 1 litre of it. Because the grass that we put into the fermenting silo in the last episode has all been used up, so the silage that created has been spread between the food mixer and the biogas plant. So that's all done now. But looking at that there, obviously we're out of straw now, so that's going to stop dead, but we've got 121,792 litres of TMR in there, so that should keep us going for a small amount of time. I do need to consider stocking up on some straw somehow, but we'll figure that one out. Right, anyway, so I'm going to put this stuff away, and I'll see you over at field 86, I think it is. Well, that was short-lived. I hate it when that happens. I've just gone into the contract menu to accept the contract, and I pressed accept, and it just disappeared. It's quite frustrating when that happens, because there's no explanation for why. There's no reasoning for why. Yeah, well, what can I do? Contract menu is now empty. If I refresh the contracts, it doesn't do anything. So there's nothing available on the map. So instead of making a little bit of money, I think right now, the only thing I've really got left I can do is go and spend a bit of money. So I am going to go and buy myself a field scanner, and we shall scan that field in, and I think we'll just crack on and get that field fully prepped. So, see you over at the shop in a few moments. Right, there we go. Purchase made, money spent, 17 grand. Now this is a modded version. That pick up? There we go. Yeah, there's it's part of a pack. I'll just show you actually, just so I can't remember the name of the pack off the top of my head. Where are we? The Isaria Colour and Range Extension by Akimobile. So I've gone for this one, the XL130. It does provide a much bigger, wider scan radius, because that is one of my pet peeves of this game. There's not many that I have, but one of them is the base game scanner. It's just woefully painful running around. I know my fields on here aren't particularly big, so I appreciate that, but if you do have a larger farm to scan, the big fields can be absolutely painful to scan with that small range scanner. So yeah, as I say, I've got a bit of a beefier one here. So we're going to do that now. I'm going to get the field data scanned in, and at least now we've got this for the future. It did cost 17,000, so the bank balance has shrunk a little bit down to 51,770. But speculate to accumulate and all that. All done. Soil samples taken. I know I'm going to have to redo parts of the land on this side of things here, but I've scanned all this slot up here as well, so 900 quid that cost all in. But this modded thing does make it cheaper as well. It's still only like 150 quid a scan, and because it covers a much wider plot of land each scan, it's cheaper. So now, regarding this grass field as well, this one we cut in the last episode and popped into the production systems over there for the cow feed. What I've got in mind is now this field is growing at the minute, isn't it? If I remember correctly. Yes, this is a field of grass that is growing. But what I do plan on doing with this is I'm going to join this field up to this field once we've got the first cut out of this, because this will potentially carry on growing. But what I think I'll do is I'll join them both together with the plough and plant the bit in the middle and go from there. And then once we've got a couple of cuts off from both, I'll essentially raise it and start again. Give it a good going over with the drill, because it is a direct drill. Sorry, my mind went blank then. It's a direct drill, so it's all good. Anyway, what I also think I'm going to spend a couple of quid on is I'm going to get myself a jet washer, and then I can keep my equipment clean. So we'll get this lot over here, and the next job we are going to take on is just prepping the little field here that we've drilled with oats. So we'll get the lime spreader out, we'll top it up with lime, do all that, and the fertilizer spreader as well. So let's turn this off. So yeah, I'm going to place down a jet washer somewhere, possibly just here in the middle, in the hope that I might be able to stretch it out and reach most things. I hope. We shall see. So, see you shortly. Rightio. Nice and clean. You wouldn't think it to look at it, but yeah, that's been washed. And as has everything else. So what I've done, for £1,000, because it's considerably cheaper than the 4.5 grand base game jet washer, I've placed down this Karcher. It's quite a big thing, but yeah, for £1,000, stuck it in the workshop here. And the hose is long enough, obviously I can reach everything in here, so everything has had a clean. And would you believe it, the roller is green underneath all that brown, so that's looking a little bit less rough. Everything else has had a good spritz, so everything's nice and clean. So we've got the lime spreader hooked up to the IMT. Just squeeze out of here nicely. There we go. So let's make our way over to the fertilizer tank, purchase ourselves a tank of lime, and get this field prep sorted. So I am going to pop this whole job, the liming and the liquid fertilizing of the new field here. There we go. Let's just bring up the heads-up display so we can see what it's going to cost us, because our money has dropped considerably now, hasn't it? 189 per tank, so there'll probably be a couple of tanks. So obviously it's not too big of a field, is it? But it's got to be done. So, as I say, this and the liquid fertilizing into a cinematic, and I'll see you when the job's done. Right, complete change of plan, ladies and gentlemen. Or not a change of plan, just a complete scuppering of the original plan. So, and it's kind of my fault. The field's been limed. That's been done. Because it doesn't, it's oats. It doesn't need any nitrogen, does it? If I bring up the heads-up display, nitrogen values are perfect. Expected yield of 123%. So that's excellent. Forgive me, it was entirely my mistake. I hadn't factored in that obviously oats don't need that level of nitrogen. So when I had put the fertilizer spreader in here, the sprayer, sorry, it didn't do anything because nitrogen levels are fine. So that scuppered that idea of the cinematic because there wasn't really enough footage at all to put anything together. So with that in mind, I thought, right, I'll have to refigure things out. I do have the other two fields over there, the strip fields in the distance there that have wheat and barley in, I think. But I can't do anything with those either. They do need their levels topping up. If I go into the precision farming menu very quickly, yeah, there you go. Levels of nitrogen are pretty bad and the pH levels aren't great either. But I can't do anything with those because I do have crop destruction turned on. I don't just want to turn it off for the sake of it. But yeah, I've got crop destruction turned on and I can't equip either of these two tractors with row crop tyres. Even if I had the money to pay for them, which I suppose I have, but I can't, there's nothing I can do. So that's kind of scuppered my plans as well. So, and I don't want to fast forward time just for the sake of fast forwarding time. There's not going to be much going on, essentially, in the coming weeks on the farm. I've no idea that if I was to fast forward time, whether there would be any contracts to do or not. But for the sake of it, as I say, I don't just want to do that for the sake of doing it. So I think I'm going to call it here for this episode. It's forgive me that it's been a relatively short one. I think it might only be about 20 minutes long. But we've progressed a little bit. We've got the yield increased on the oat field here. Well, we've got the oat into the field and increased the yield. So that's one thing, I guess. So yeah, a relatively short episode, but an episode nonetheless. So, thank you very much for watching, everyone. I really do hope you've enjoyed this little short video and found it remotely interesting. As always, if you're new to my channel, you like my content, you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and joining the channel. Giving the video a like if you can, if you have liked it, of course. And as always, there are a host of links in the video description below with my Giants Partner promo code. If any of you are in the market for a season pass, a DLC, an add-on, or even the full game itself, and you like the idea of helping out a content creator at the same time, I would be massively appreciative. So thanks again for your time, everyone, watching the video. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.